welcome back to Tyman on Tap. This is, what day is today? Today is Wednesday. It is 8 p.m. It is the 26th of February. That means it's the last episode of February, and we're not having an episode next week. So, Alan Billings, what's going on in your plate? Or I guess nothing's going on for Alan Billings. Yeah, so no episode next week. At some point, maybe we'll get some graphics up so people know where to call in at 203-265-6310. Don't skip that slide. Delete that slide, as a matter of fact, because I hate it. Time on tap. Call it at 203-265-6310 here in Wallingford, Connecticut. All right, next slide, Alan. I'm the host, Joe Tyman. These slides are all out of order today. Well, anyways,
the slides are actually in order, Tyman. They're completely in order. They're in the same order they've always been in.
But where's...
But you know what the more important thing is that we have to tell people to see us online. And yes, the L is capital, and I will not change it.
Do not
to
go
TymanOnTap.AlanBillings.com, where they can see all of our amazing content that you are providing for us.
Actually, just go to Tyman on Tap on Facebook. It's much better than the website.
Okay, I don't have that one, but I do have used the hashtag TymanOnTap.
Yes, the hashtag is Tyman on Tap. Alan operates a Twitter during the show to just check out what's going on. Do we have anybody hashtagging us here right now, Alan?
No, only me.
What are you?
Actually, you know something? We should just ask everyone. I'm asking people in the show that are watching right now, if there's anyone watching, please follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. I'm asking the people that are sitting on that your guests tonight to follow us on Facebook, to follow us on Twitter.
That's just awkward.
You know, so we can get more people. We're getting our likes up. We're finally up to enough likes on Facebook that we can get statistical data, and all that.
Solely for me harassing my friends to like the page, Alan.
Well, a count's a count. A vote's a vote. A like's a like. A follow's a follow.
All right, so before we go on, I want to give a special shout-out to my roommate, Lou Rivera. He's turning 27 years old today, so happy birthday, Lou. If you're watching, call in at 203-265-6310. Also, today was the wake of my very good friend, his mother, and that's why I'm all dressed up today. And I just want to take pause for that. All right, so we have two guests from Quinnipiac University in Hamden. They're part of the group of putting on Quinni Con. I think that's the right way to pronounce it.
Yeah. Close enough.
Close
Quinni
enough.
Con.
What?
Quinni Con.
Quinni Con?
Yeah.
But it's an I, not an A.
Quinni? Quinni.
Quinni Con.
Yeah. Quinni Con. Quinni
Wait.
Con.
That's a different syllable.
Argue
I'm not arguing, but it's
we'll
just,
argue phonics.
we could argue phonics. I learned by memorization, so
It's Quinnipiac, so Quinni Con. Quinnipiac.
it's Quinny, not Quinnipiac. It's not Quinnipiac. It's
Quinnipiac? Quinnipiac? I can't even say it like that.
Quinnipiac.
Quinnipiac.
But you're saying Quinnipiac, then you're saying Quinnicon.
Quinni Con.
But
These
you're
are the
pronouncing
same things.
No, they're different.
They're
All right.
guys, whatever.
All right. Okay, so Quinnicon. That's how we're going to pronounce it. All right. So why don't you introduce yourselves, what you do at the convention, and I don't think I need to continue on that. Just introduce yourself to our audience.
All right. I'm Amherst Mujica. I'm currently the chairwoman of Quinni Con. I've been doing it for this year and the past year. I've been basically doing that. I organize everything from the guests that come to Quinni Con. I organize the staff and what their positions are. Almost everything, even the stuff that technically I'm not in charge of, I oversee it. So everything, our tea cafe, we have a tea cafe that people can go to. Free food, everything's free.
Is there vegetarian options?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they're mostly drinks, but it's a tea cafe, so.
You said free food, so I had that question.
There is cake. There is cake with our logo printed on it.
Is it gluten free?
It's also free.
Gluten free.
Oh, gluten free?
I think he covered that actually. He was on his.
Yeah, I think there actually is gluten free cake. Our tea cafe guy is really on top of his stuff this year.
I paid $25 for a gluten free salad today, so I'm on the gluten free.
Was it good?
Nah, I've had better salads for less money, but but they're not gluten free.
It's true.
I don't know there's much gluten in salad other than croutons.
Just take out the croutons, whatever.
Yeah. Had quinoa.
Cannoli?
Quinoa.
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 Cannoli?
Cannoli is an Italian dessert.
What's a quinoa?
It's like
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm Tori. I'm the co-head or co-chair of Quinni Con. I'm basically her right-hand man, but I also organize when people are not doing their jobs,
So
which is often.
so describe that. So how does somebody not do their job, and how do you fix that problem?
So, since we're a club, we're the anime club at school,
Okay.
we have people of all ages, so we're seniors, but we have freshmen
Mhm.
who are sometimes in charge of things, and they're new to life, so sometimes, like,
They've been alive for almost 2 decades. I mean,
you would think that would make a difference.
It doesn't.
We have to have an email seminar the first time we introduce QuinniCon to people, because people don't know how to write emails, and that's one of the things that really just ticks us off.
Yeah, we've
So-
received and just.
okay, so I just need clarification. So what do you mean by not knowing how to write emails? Do they not know how to like log on to Google or?
There's no subject line, there's
Okay.
no signature, there's no hello, it's just kind of just words, and then
Okay.
just sent.
It's hello, come to our convention. It's not hello, miss. This is blah 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 from Quinnipiac University. It's just formatting and politeness.
So everybody's required to attend the email seminar.
Basically, yeah, it's like the third meeting, and I think we have where I actually hand out papers, and I'm like, this is an example of an email you wouldn't write. And it's literally an example I actually got from my professor where somebody emailed a teacher being like, what's up, miss, insert teacher's name here. I was just wondering how my grade's doing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thanks, bye, Jay. And it's just like, that's not an email you'd probably send a professor when you're a college student, so,
I probably wouldn't say that myself.
yeah.
Good.
It's like you're like, well, once you're in grad school, it's different. It's like your professors are like your buddies, kind of. Especially if you're at a research university and you're just like researching all the time. Like, I think it's a little different dynamic than being undergraduate. But I don't know. I never sent emails like that, so I don't know. It's interesting. You
You're a
assume
good
that people
person.
what?
So you're a good person for that.
And I wouldn't say that. So you get all these freshmen, you round them up, you make them like acceptable human beings. So what else? Like so, let's start the process from Labor Day to the convention. What do you do? Like, or does it start
Well-
the year before? Like, do you start? So when this convention's over, I know you guys are seniors, correct? So
Yeah.
you're done, right? So does the next year's exec board start planning the convention the minute the convention's over, or how does that
They're
work?
planning
Yeah.
now, technically.
Yeah, we've already started planning for next year. The con sort of never ends
Okay.
when you're planning it. We started, and the first one, it's only 3 years old. So the
Okay.
first time we did it, it was we started it our freshman year, so 4
Okay.
years ago technically, and it took a whole year to get it planned out. And now it takes about half a year to plan out.
Okay.
So the minute we're done with the con, we're replanning the con again because it took a half a year just to
Okay.
go with it. So
Yeah.
students usually get the summer off.
Yeah.
But the minute they're back in school, it's 100% Quinni Con, weekly meetings, everything from deciding what positions they have, which is usually the first thing we do the first time back. So the new freshmen, some of them might want to do certain things, whereas other ones don't know what they want to do, and we just put them over in the floater category where they don't have to come to meetings, so to
Okay.
say, but the day of they have the most work. So they're the ones who are like, oh, we're missing somebody in the game room, go hang out in there and do whatever they tell you to do.
Okay. So you have so the anime club runs the convention, but do you have like separate meetings for like the doing like fun anime club stuff?
Yeah.
Every Tuesday we have a meeting.
Okay.
And we're supposed to just watch anime. We usually watch anime and hang out. We're really just a group of friends at this point. I mean, obviously you have to get to that point from the recruiting new nerds and in the fall to where we are now, which is hanging around, playing Pokemon and watching anime.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
It's our life.
Yeah, I guess. So so let's talk about anime. So how do you guys get into anime?
I think I was like 6, maybe 5. My brother, Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Still my favorite.
With
What
me, with me, it was my family's all nerds. My dad is the comic book nerd, so he always loved comic books. My mom loves books a lot, so she's all about like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Harry Potter, all those sorts of books. And my brother likes games, so it sort of just combined into me just falling into the pattern. And I just picked up anime, and I was like, hey, cartoons.
That's cool. Yeah. So I mean, I'm like older than you. So I remember in like high school, we had like 2 ways to get our anime. Like we would buy on eBay dub tapes, like VHSs, and we couldn't actually pay for the content. We would just pay for the tapes, and like so the guy would charge you $20. And my friend got 2 sleeves tattooed based on the money he was making from
Oh,
selling
wow.
his tapes. Like it was very successful for him. Or we had like the torrents, but like so we would just took a bunch of torrents, a bunch of stuff, and like Anime Suka or something like that, or Suki, not sure. But like so now let's fast forward. Like I've been out of college for a while now. I've been out of high school for even longer than that. So like what? So how are kids? I mean, you're adults, but how are the youths of today accessing anime that they like haven't seen before, or is not necessarily mainstream?
What we do is there's actually a service that we use through Quinnipiac, or not through Quinnipiac, but that Quinnipiac pays for because we have a budget from the school.
Yeah.
And we actually end up purchasing a year subscription from their service, and we just watch anime through them.
Crunchyroll or?
Yep, Crunchyroll. We use Crunchyroll, and they actually support the convention too. So they're what support our screening room, and we just use the club account. Any of our members who are in it can use it and can just go online and watch their favorite animes through it. Other than that, I think, is there anything else that people use? I mean,
you're talking about high school kids? Is that what you're trying to ask?
I mean, just,
I don't know their life exactly, but I'm assuming internet is the only word I should probably use when answering that question.
See, internet's vastly different from 10 years ago when I was in high school.
So you're talking about you used to have to torrent?
Yes. I used to have to torrent.
You can still torrent, but then there's also just sites where you can just go watch it. There's no torrenting necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer streaming just because streaming's...
Safer.
It's safer, yes. Torrents, you risk viruses, and there's risks of it being on your computer, which is obviously an illegal download.
Yes.
So streaming itself
As a software developer, I really hate piracy. Like,
yeah.
If you're in software and you pirate, you should probably think of a different career. But is that risk? But I mean, back when I was in college, Netflix was just starting their streaming service. Like you could watch some of their movies. So I mean, the fact that the infrastructure has vastly changed now with Crunchyroll, you can get on your Apple TV and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I love Crunchyroll because it's like we went to Katsucon, which is the school funded con trip that they give us. So nice of them.
Where's Katsucon located?
It's in DC.
DC. Wow.
National
that was
Harbor.
2 weekends ago.
Yes. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it was right during that huge storm was when we drove down, right in the middle of it.
Okay.
We didn't care.
Wait, President's Day weekend?
Yep.
No, Valentine's weekend.
Oh wait, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day was last. No, yeah, Valentine's Day weekend. It was President's weekend.
Yeah,
it was that Monday.
I was gonna say I thought it was.
Yeah, it was Valentine's.
Because we don't get it off. Because
Yeah.
the school hates us.
I know.
Yeah.
I had it off from work. If that makes you feel better.
No.
Well, I don't think the University of New Haven has it off where I was a graduate student either. So, other students are.
We all suffer together.
Yep.
Yes. I mean, you have the whole entire summer off, so I don't know if that's really suffering.
Well, I mean, technically we're graduating, so the summer is the beginning of the jobs. Oh, not for you.
Not for me. I guess.
Oh yeah,
August,
she still gets to go back to school and do grad school, so she gets the summer off at least for a bit.
Technically.
I have to go deal with my family.
Have fun. You will be missed.
No, I
Have
won't.
fun in Maine.
Liar.
Maine is lovely in the summer, isn't it?
It is, I think. I don't know. I spend it inside. I mean, it's kind of.
Yeah.
It's like when you live in a donut shop and everybody's like, "I love donuts." And you're like, "I'm so tired of donuts."
I guess.
Good analogy.
I love sandwiches.
Okay, whatever.
You know, Maine still has frontier wilderness. Like, one of the only states in the country to still have frontier.
Oh yeah, my uncle's in the FBI, or he was in the FBI, and he used to tell us all the time about how they were afraid to go to Maine. The FBI is afraid to go to Maine because in New York City, it's all gridlocked. You can see people, there are people around, but in Maine, if you go, you have to send like a whole squad of guys because you're alone in the wilderness and no one can hear you.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, in space, no one can hear you scream.
That's scary. I never want to go to Maine again.
Stephen King lives here for a reason.
Who, by the way, another person I got the contact information when I was running a con.
Oh, I run into him at the supermarket all the time. He's
Do
a
you?
nice guy. Yeah, because have you ever seen The Mist?
Yes.
My hometown.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But The Mist, there's 2 movies of The Mist, right? There was one where they were pirate ghosts, and there was the...
Yeah, we're talking about the one with the bugs.
Okay.
That one.
Gotta make the distinction.
Yes.
Pirate ghosts are much more scary than bugs.
I don't know, the bugs scared me.
Have you seen the Lord of the Rings movie? Those pirate ghosts are pretty damn awesome.
It's true, I guess.
But, I mean, whoever did the original Mist was obviously a huge Tolkien fan.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
Like, where else? It was a British film anyway, so he's really the only really prominent British fantasy author from that time period. So, yeah. Well, anyways, that's kind of a tangent, but so this con started your freshman year. So was it something the people that were there before you guys started, or did you guys as freshmen come on and be like, hey, we should do a con,
It started our freshman year. Planning it started our freshman year. We didn't actually get to hold it till our sophomore year. It came up when I had just been elected to... What was I?
You were technically PR
I was technically PR, but I was doing the vice president's job because she just didn't show up. And Jenna Andriozzi, she was our president. She's also the founder of Quinni Con. We were trying to think of events that the club could do because we were recently chartered, which means that the school just gave us a budget, and we were able to ask them for money for it. And we were like, well, what events could we do? What could we hold? And Jen had these lists of events, and I was like, why don't we combine them? And Jen's like, you mean like a convention? And since then, it was just stuck in her head that we had to hold a convention at Quinnipiac.
So it's Amy's fault.
It's my fault, kind of. So now I'm taking care of it, so it's not like I left you.
But when you leave, that's going to be somebody else's problem, right?
Yeah, it's actually, you guys know who's going to be taking over. Allison, the one who is our PR person now. PR slowly transitions to president eventually. She's our PR. She's going.
Seems
to
like
president.
it's pretty direct. If she's if she's going to be the president next year, like she's PR this year, then there's no slowness to it. So it's like you're PR, then you're president, right?
Depends on if you're a decent PR.
Yeah, because we've had bad PR.
Like, okay, so
Yeah,
what's
bad
bad
PR?
PR?
You were bad PR.
I was bad PR. I just had the title for a year, and I was just like, I'll put a poster over there. It's fine.
So what's the student population at Quinnipiac?
Like, you mean demographics or
I have
population?
no idea.
How many people go to Quinnipiac?
A lot.
Enough.
Okay.
I have no idea. I think there's like in our class alone, there's a couple thousand. How many? We're like the biggest class actually. I know because our graduation is split up into 3 years.
Okay.
I think how many do we? I think I could be completely wrong. I think it's 1,400 in our class.
That's more than my whole entire college.
It's huge for this class. I know that the school was desperate for money because they were rebuilding the student center at the time.
Which, by the way, Hamden issued a moratorium on new student housing at Quinnipiac.
Yeah.
Don't care graduating.
Yeah, we're leaving. They're also destroying North Lottie at Quinnipiac. We're leaving. We're getting out.
Well.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a problem.
Okay, we're not going to use this for the time being. That's fun. So, let's go to a PSA so I can fix my earpiece. Hey, everybody. So I think we're going to have a clip that we're going to show. Do you guys want to describe the clip we're about to show?
The clip is by One Kids Entertainment, which is Michael Hecht, Jesse Nowak, and Jerry. I can never say Jerry's last name, so it's Jerry. And they're basically 3 of our special guests that are coming to Quinni Con. Jesse and Mike have been coming for the last couple of years. Jesse's going to technically be our master of ceremonies this year. They're really hilarious. They do Abridged Work, which is a parody of shows. Mm-hmm. So what they did specifically is they do Pokemon Abridged is their big thing. So it sort of is a parody of Pokemon and all the ridiculousness that happens in Pokemon.
Okay, let's go play it, Al.
Oh, this one's advertising Quinni Con, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, specifically for Quinni Con.
Time it is! It's Quinni Con time! Or as Ash likes to call it...
Ham time!
Yes, that.
And this time, we're bringing this guy!
Hey!
He shall also partake of the ham.
There is no ham.
Oh yeah? Well, where did I get this ham from then?
I don't know!
Guys, it's okay. I have a ham too.
Where's everyone getting these hams?
You're a ham!
No, you're the ham! You both are! You're both giant hams!
You are what you eat.
Well, then this chick must have eaten a giant I'm not from here.
Is this the ham convention? I want to know! I need to know!
Yes,
no,
it
it's
is.
not. I'm surrounded by idiots.
Tell me about it.
Come to QuinniCon, a free convention being held in Hamden, Connecticut at Quinnipiac University on March 1st and 2nd. There was no ham at the convention. I can go for some ham, f***ing A.
Revy, this is not a good idea.
Oh, come on, Rick. I promise I'll behave and not shoot anything and all that shit.
Okay, but you gotta clean up your language if we're gonna go to this thing.
Please, I can f***ing control my... with special guests such as No Whacking, One Kids Entertainment, X-Jerry64X, Purple Eyes WTF, Mike Pollock, Chris Patton, and more. We hope to see you there, unless you're Brock.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of how much ham I have.
Like this one, I shall rip the flesh from my enemies and ingest them.
This is gonna be an interesting weekend.
Hey, don't look at me. I didn't invite her.
I brought the turkey! It's on fire, apparently!
I want ham.
Alright, so... those went over all your guests in the convention were on that video, or?
Yeah, that was all the special guests that we have coming. Yeah, it's basically all of them. Last year we had the 501st, but they couldn't make it this year. which is Vader's unit, their charity foundation that dresses up, and they come in as stormtroopers.
What's the rebel version of that?
I don't remember. I know that there is a rebel version of it, but I can't remember what they're
They used
called.
to be at Connecticut all the time, but I don't remember seeing them last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I know that Vader's only comes to charity stuff, so.
Yeah.
But this year they were too busy, unfortunately.
They do get busy. They do a lot of things.
But yeah, we have Mike Pollock, who was our boys' pick. Really,
Yeah.
they are obsessed with Sonic to an unhealthy level.
A little bit.
So
He voices Eggman from Sonic.
Dr. Robotnik.
So they had to have him. He had to come.
So we got him.
So
So
we
what
got
do you
him.
mean? Do you mean the old Sonic TV show that was on syndication in like the early '90s?
Yeah, he did that, and he also
Isn't
used
that like older than you guys?
It's like our age.
Yeah, it's literally our age.
Technically speaking.
yeah.
We fall in line with it.
Yeah. Yeah, he did Eggman, and he also used to, since Jesse and them used to are Pokemon, he used to be the Pokemon announcer too.
Okay, read somewhere you have Brock coming.
No.
Oh, okay, I thought that was like when the voice was Brock from Pokemon.
No, I wish.
Oh, I misread something. I'm sorry.
okay.
I should have paid more better detail to your website.
It's fine, we have a lot of guests this year.
Yeah, we have a lot of guests. This is more guests than we've had the last couple of years.
Okay.
Because just
People are reaching out to us rather than us being like, please come to our
yeah,
convention.
we actually only had to ask Mike Pollock. Everybody else was like, "Can we pretty please come to your con?" And we were like, "Sure."
So somebody that ran a con before, how do you go from the point that you're begging people and paying them tens of thousands of dollars to come to your convention to having them asked to go to your convention? Like
1 year. Yeah, I literally I received an email from Dave from people who were extras on The Walking Dead and wanted to be at our convention. Literally, I just get emails all the time asking to come to the con just because people who aren't Robert Pattinson or who aren't, name me an actor.
Jeremy
Renner, who's like Hawkeye.
That'd be
like,
a really interesting choice for
I wish he could come.
My vote.
Oh. Like, if people like them, they automatically get picked up for like huge cons like Comic-Con, but people who are like voice actors who they're obviously they're good voice actors, but they don't have as big a possible fan base. They come hang out with us. So they end up being the ones who do their own press release and send out their own emails and their own ads to conventions being like, hey, do you need a special guest? I'm a special guest. So
that's cool.
That's how we actually got, actually, I don't think we've ever had to really ask anybody to come except for Mike Pollock. Last year we asked Chris Casey, the voice of Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball Z. Those are the two we've asked. Other than that, our first year, Lisa Wilkerson was our guest. She did a lot of Tekken stuff for voicing. And she asked us to come. So really, it's even when you're just starting a convention, there are always voice actors out there who want to be special guests.
I feel like the difference in like when I was in a college student running a college con and you guys running a college con is that the social media has made it a lot easier for you guys to get out your message. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, I've seen like Allison is our PR person. She does a lot of really good stuff. She updates our Twitter constantly. She updates our Facebook. She updates our Tumblr. She updates advertisements, which technically we went through the school after a while, but after a while she just started posting places.
And then we have animecons.com, which is where you can just go to look for conventions in your area, and it shows up now. And then word of mouth is like probably one
terrifying
of the best ones.
also.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
So like so we're expecting a lot of people this year that we didn't think we were really gonna get. So we're growing pretty fast.
Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. So how many guests are you expecting this year?
I think we're at 1,100. What our estimate is. Yeah.
Our estimate is between 1,000 and 1,200 because it's double and a half. Because we have 400 people pre-registered this year, and this year we are 2 months earlier just because we lost the Quinnipiac planning lottery for our event.
What's the planning lottery?
Planning lottery is where all of the big events on campus, so like Quinnipiac has clubs and organizations that have their really big events and stuff, so like Quinni Con is a big enough event to qualify, so we get to go to the planning lottery, so we get to pick in advance the dates we want our events to be on.
Okay.
And it goes in order of budget, so we were pretty soon, but we weren't soon enough to get the dates because hockey games and sororities and fraternities had already picked the dates we wanted for our stuff.
I don't think you're really going to move hockey games.
No, we can't. It would be terrifying to have a hockey game the same night as Quinni Con because I don't know if anybody's ever driven up York Hill during a hockey game, but it's impossible to get up or down. So
I'm a Yale fan for hockey, so I've never actually.
I don't blame you. I mean,
No.
Remember when they were huge underdogs and they beat Quinnipiac last year? That was pretty awesome.
How are they the underdogs?
They,
We're like,
Yale was huge underdogs to Quinnipiac last year in the NCAA tournament.
they're Ivy League. I don't care.
Yes,
Well,
nobody
we don't-
assumes Ivy League and great athletics. I mean, it's like, man, that guy from Yale is gonna be an awesome NFL draft pick. Nobody says that.
I mean, our football team is undefeated.
It's true.
It's
Since
true.
1922.
You don't have
It's
a football
really
team.
Exactly.
It's still undefeated though.
Uh-huh.
Best way to win is to never play.
That's my motto.
It really is your motto.
But then, isn't the whole thrill of winning the fact that you could possibly lose?
I mean, I have that point of view. I like to do gamble like that. She prefers to watch me gamble and laugh.
Okay, like really gamble or just like
But
take
she
risks?
loves gambling, like legitimate
Both.
gambling. I don't.
Like go to Sports Haven and bet on the ponies?
No, slots.
Okay. You know that they're stealing your money if you play slots. Like you have
Don't
like
tell her
almost
that.
no
It doesn't
chance.
work.
to-
It's not
I mean,
Like
I-
card games, you can actually win if you have some strategy.
I secretly have the mind of a 5-year-old, and maybe not so secretly for those who have attended the Quinni Con meetings. I have the mind of a 5-year-old, and I just really like the, what are they called? The one-armed bandits. I just like pulling the lever and watching the little pretty lights go.
She also enjoys bingo.
I do enjoy bingo. My grandparents and I go frequently. They win a couple $1,000s, and I never win. Actually, I won a Keurig, so that's
That's
enough.
pretty damn sweet.
It's coffee.
It is.
It's good. It's a prize.
You can in fact get water or tea from that Keurig at Quinni Con.
I think I'm gonna go to Quinni Con just so I can Quinni Con, excuse me, just so I can get some tea from your Keurig.
Go for it. It's a pretty good Keurig.
We have a pretty sweet Keurig at work. I make a lot of green tea with it.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I do. Bigelow green tea. What type of tea are you having for this Keurig?
Oh man, what is Christian? Christian is our tea cafe guy, and he's very big on teas.
Like he wants to run a panel on teas.
He
He wanted
loves
to run a how to
teas.
make a
I love
panel,
him.
how to make tea panel.
Is there a tea panel?
No,
He didn't get it.
we
It's too early in the morning.
what we usually do for panels is that we allow people to send in for their panels, plus special guests all host panels.
Uh-huh.
And then from there on, any empty spaces, we try and leave a couple just so the staff that really enjoy something. So
Yeah.
Christian probably could have done his tea panel if there was more space. So, but staff is like last pick for who gets to have panels.
Mhm.
So we just use them for filler. So we didn't have enough space for him to do his tea panel, sadly.
Those are fun.
They are.
I did an awesome panel on Japanese baseball at Anime Boston in 2007 and 2008. I'm sorry, I'm going back in time. It's like a
2008
time
was
machine.
my first convention.
Line
ever.
Con.
Yeah. Line Con 08.
What, Anime
That
Boston?
was my first con ever, yeah.
Yeah, with the 12-hour lines.
10
True
and a
story.
half.
So I waited in line with my buddy, and so we waited for a while, and then the next day, me and my friends decided to go, and they sit in the back of the line, and these two middle-aged men's like, hey, our kids are here. We're gonna go get drunk. Do you want our badges? And they sold it to them for $20.
Are you kidding?
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. I
Smart on their part, too.
seriously smart. I would have sold them for way more than that in Line Con.
I don't think they realized
The magnitude
Yeah.
of Line Con wasn't noticed until the next day.
Yeah.
I remember at Connecticut, was it 2012, which also started as a college con, which is probably the most successful college con ever. They had the line go out, and it was like a nice hot July day, like in Hartford, like line up in the city, and everybody's getting dehydrated and stuff.
Oh,
It was
that's
like
awful.
really
That happened
bad.
to me at Otakon 2009. It was like hot as balls.
But
They're
you're in
just
Baltimore.
outside.
But you're in Baltimore, and the line moves faster at Otakon than it does at Connecticut. Like in Connecticut, it was just disastrous. And, like they didn't have to do that, and like you're waiting, and like I don't know if you guys have been to Connecticut, but it's like right in the middle of all the businesses in Hartford. So like you got these people just like walking by, looking at all the
Oh.
cosplayers.
Oh, I
That's
haven't been to
interesting.
Connecticut. But no, we went to Katsucon again this year because of the snowstorm. Nobody could come in Thursday night, so everybody came in Friday. So the line to get your tickets Friday was 3.5 hours long, which isn't terrible, but it's still worse than what it usually
After
could
having
be.
to drive the last 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
After having to drive down like 6 hours or 5 hours, it was still bad.
So you talk a lot about like anime cons that you've been to. You seem like you've been to a few. Have you ever been to any other cons, like sci-fi cons, gaming conventions, anything like that?
I mainly do comic conventions and anime conventions.
Never been to PAX or PAX
No.
East?
No.
No.
Because PAX, wasn't PAX East during Boston one year?
PAX East has been during Boston a couple of
It
years.
was, but they were trying to.
They moved
So
it since, I think.
No, they didn't move PAX. They moved Anime Boston
Oh.
because
PAX,
PAX
was
was
more
like-
successful.
yeah, well, PAX was like, we're gonna run you out of the water. And,
Yeah.
And I think at this point that guy, Anime Boston's hurting a little bit. I think Connecticut might have surpassed it in terms of attendance.
Oh, I don't know about. Well, this year, just in case you probably know this, but Attack on Titan, which is like the hottest anime going on right now, they're announcing the English dub cast there. So they're having like the whole premiere of the English dub at Anime Boston this year. That's cool. So the attendance rate is just kind of soared up because of it.
That's good. But I know when they were the same weekend as PAX, everybody was going.
Oh, it was bad. It was a bad year. It was Homestuck Con that year.
Oh. What's Homestead Con?
Homestuck is Homestuck. Homestuck is it's a online webcomic by Andrew Hussey, and it focuses on kids who play a video game, but as usual, the video game begins to impact reality. Yeah. And the video game takes over their reality and their universe, and they basically have to. Their goal is to beat the game to create a new universe, because once they're transported into the game, their universe ends up being destroyed.
That sounds a horrible existence.
It's a pretty tragic comic, actually. It's really good, but the fan base can be a little. Yeah, they can be a little loopy. At times. It's also just kind of that age group where a couple years ago.
Like, there's always a trend at anime conventions of what's popular and what people just massively hoard towards. Like, God, what was it a few years ago? Hitalia?
It was
Naruto happened first. I think.
Naruto,
Death Note,
and then Hitalia. Was it? Well, no, there was something in between, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
Was it Bleach?
Nah, not really. It wasn't. That wasn't the same.
It was like a sad mix between.
It was a sad mix.
It was a sad mix into Bleach, and then Hitalia hit, which is that anime about the personified countries. And then it's transferred to Homestuck when Hitalia went on break, and now Homestuck's gone on break, and it's currently Attack on Titan or Danganronpa, which is also a Japanese video game that has not yet been translated to English, so people are just reading the online transcriptions.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So the one that personified as the countries, I was always wondering what people were cosplaying as when they were like wandering around with a big Swedish flag.
It's that.
Okay, I thought there was like a model Congress going on at these conventions. Like, I wasn't invited.
I actually think there was like a Hitalia UN conference that they have. Actually, at Quinni Con we have a Ask the Nations panel, also an Ask the Homestucks panel, where people dress cosplay up, and they go get it really in character, and then they go up on stage or onto like the front of the page. Improv, and they just go up and people can ask them questions and be like, "How do you feel about pizza?" And the person, whoever they ask the question, has to be like, how their character feels about pizza.
That's cool.
It's usually a lot more deep than
that.
We do not have
what do you think of the weather today?
It's a lot deeper than that. Usually it's like, how do you feel about this character and your relationship with them, or do you feel betrayed by these actions in this particular scene, or how do you feel about being dead usually if they're a dead character?
It's fun for people who are really into it. They just zone in and they're like, this is the character, I'm going to ask them this question.
They're real.
You were very passionate about that response. Like, really
because I've seen these people. I've seen these people.
Well, Tori's also a pretty avid cosplayer, so.
Yeah.
What was your best cosplay and worst cosplay you've done?
Worst cosplay? My first one wasn't terrible, but I was Squall Leonhardt from Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh, that one's cute.
Do you have like a Facebook fan page for your cosplay?
I don't have a fan page. I'm more modest than that.
She says this, but she has fans, and she's cosplay famous.
My best is probably Lady from Devil May Cry, because I had it's about 5.5-foot cannon. It looked pretty friggin' accurate.
So did you actually buy a cannon? Like, did you go to like an antique weapons store?
No, I actually like pieced it together and made it.
Can you fire anything from that cannon without it exploding and hurting you horribly?
No, because everything has to be completely disassembled so you can actually make it into the convention.
But a cannon, all you're doing is packing in gunpowder, and all you need is the fuse. So a cannon without gunpowder and fuse is technically a non-working cannon.
I mean, are you asking me if I could make a cannon that could fire?
Yes, that won't blow up. Yes.
I guess I could, but why would I?
Why not?
I mean, if I have to carry it around, that's a lot of weight.
It's heavy as it is.
My cannon's like, what, 15 pounds? I wouldn't want to add more to that.
It's all about authenticity.
I mean, it's broken now, so whatever.
It's broken? Yeah. How did it break?
Homestuck.
The Homestucks. That's why I made a face when we started talking about it.
A girl, because we were at...
Anime Boston 2012.
No, but what panel were we at? Was it at?
It was the hentai dubbing panel. Actually.
Yeah, we were at the hentai dubbing panel.
Don't ask us what that is. It was the hentai dubbing panel.
Actually, I am going to ask you what that is, but let's finish your response to this.
They just stepped on it.
She was really excited that she got called up, and she just ran and crashed into my cannon, and it was like all these years of work.
It's probably an Eridan.
It was a
Video.
girl with blonde hair and black makeup.
Just kidding, it was a rose.
Okay, whatever. I don't care anymore.
What is the hentai dubbing panel?
Yes, what is the hentai dubbing panel?
So, now let me tell.
Oh,
let me
yeah,
take
I was
this.
gonna say,
Let me
please
try.
do this
I have
if you
to
want
tread
to.
lightly. Is this like a PG-13 show?
You can say whatever you want. As long as you don't say the a swear word, we're fine.
Okay, I've been doing good so far. So, hentai is a type of pornography that is well known in nerd culture because people like to look at naked animated people. So, hentai dubbing panel is when they show a clip of a ridiculous hentai. It can be like, I mean, they tend to avoid tentacle stuff because no one wants to do that. We're in public. So it's usually just like a weird, awkward fantasy kind of thing, and it's just, they take out all of the sound, and they pull people from the audience to come up and dub over it. And sometimes it's hilarious. It's great. It's fantastic. Sometimes people just get up there and they just flail around for a couple minutes, and we're all disappointed. Because it's an audience of about 1,000 people. Like in a huge audience.
I think I went to that panel in 2004.
Yeah, that's really funny.
At Boston?
Honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went to like the first few anime Bostons and kind of my interests have changed in nerddom, so I've no longer
That's
there.
fair.
I'm more of a literary science fiction nerd now than a anime.
You've aged like a fine wine, I see.
I haven't aged that well.
Like a soda that hasn't gone completely flat?
That is probably more accurate.
There you go.
Yes. All right, so I think it's time for another PSA. We'll get back. We'll talk more about some cosplay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is the most sworn word on my show.
Really?
Yes, people say that a lot.
I almost dropped the F-bomb. I'm glad I stopped myself.
Well, anyways, so we have our guest from the
Quinni Con.
Quinni Con, the best convention in the greater New Haven area. I don't know how many conventions are in the greater New Haven area.
I mean, I think there's... I don't think UConn has one. I don't think UConn uses Greater New Haven.
UConn has UConn at UConn.
Yeah, I know. That was just last weekend.
And then there's Comic-Con with multiple N's at the end of it. And then there's
There's more?
there's
Wasn't the
Con-Con.
That wasn't a con.
Con-Con?
Con-Con's in Stanford. Connecticut is in Bridgeport.
Oh.
That feels like it's borderline copyright infringement.
Well, you can't copyright Comic-Con. I mean, like, New York
Well,
Comic-Con...
Connecticon.
Con-Con is older than Connecticut.
Well, the multiple Connecticons.
It's not in the multiple... What? Huh? I'm confused now.
I mean, I thought you said Connecticon. There was like Connecticon with multiple N's.
No, there's Comic-Con.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Connecticon twice.
It has like several ends. So you gotta like stick on the end for a while.
Ah, weird.
And it's actually like a comic book convention. Like, you buy your tickets from comic book stores, but not anymore. I think because they went to the Webster Arena, that they have to actually like sell tickets through Ticketmaster. Unfortunately,
That's sad.
that's fun. I feel like comics. And then there's Connecticut Con, which is a gaming convention, but like a board gaming convention. And when you're in your late 20s, that's all you do is play board games. So it's kind of
Tell
happens.
the boys that.
Well, we already bought Catan. It was
Catan.
on discount at the bookstore, so it was worth it.
With the Quinnipiac bookstore.
Yeah, the QU bookstore actually. It was in the shoved in the back of a clearance sale, and everything was 25% off in the store, and it was already knocked down from $30 to $20, and then we got another like 25% off. So I mean, for Catan, it's a pretty good price.
That's good. But I don't play Catan. Most true board gamers, they don't play Catan. That's a
he's
gateway
one of
drug.
those. He's getting his.
Oh, I see.
He doesn't play that anymore.
I live in New Haven. I'm super pretentious. I'm sorry.
Oh, I guess we should
Oh,
expect that.
are you near Yale?
Well, like 3 miles away from Yale, but it's relatively close.
Oh.
Is that better, Alan? I don't even know what I was saying. Jeez.
You can just move on. I mean, it wasn't like it was.
It wasn't that
necessary
important.
Conversation.
But I don't know. Now I'm all confused. I didn't even know where I was going to go. Oh, we're going to talk about cosplay. So, do you encourage people to cosplay at your convention?
Yeah, usually. There are certain costumes we do not encourage.
We have to tell them about Salamander Man. We have to do it. We have to do it on there. We have to do it. I'm sorry.
Okay, go for it.
So usually we have like, I mean, this is a family convention. That's the phrase we have to say. So you can't be completely uncovered and/or indecent. So last year, this is the infamous Salamander Man or Frog Man, whatever you want to call
We
him.
had a picture.
I wish we had a picture of it, but I wouldn't want to send that over email. I don't know what that was. So it was this guy in a full, like a white Zentai suit, like a full body suit, and like the deepest V cut you've ever seen in your life.
All the way down.
and he was
All
like
the
dry
time.
humping people in the air and being, you know, just indecent in general. And we got a lot of complaints that his junk was, you know, it was a white Zentai suit, so it was showing. So me and
Always wear compression shorts when you wear.
you'd think, right? But anyway, so me and the original creator Jan Andreozzi, we were faced with this task of having to tell this boy we had to corner him outside and be like, "Excuse me, we have a problem." He's like, "Oh, do I need to cover up?" Like he was going for that way, and we were just like, "This is not that." And he's like, "Well, do you have any tape?" And that was like cut right there. We had to hand him some tape, and he was all better after that.
Well, I mean, he was all better, but after that, he hobbled around the con instead of walked. So
don't come somewhat naked to
So
Quinni
you
Con.
made a dude tape his junk to his leg.
He asked for the tape, and he needed it too. It was
did.
bad. It
was
bad.
really bad. I actually had to tell
Was
him.
he a QU student or was
No. QU students. We have a couple funny stories about QU students in Quinni Con. My favorite's the ketchup one, but no, he wasn't a QU student. No, the ketchup
Most
one.
of the QU kids can get in for free. Well, everything's free, but they can get in without any like registration or anything like
'cause-
that. They usually just show up and they don't know what's going on because they don't seem to care until they go to the cafeteria, because the cafeteria is in the building where we have the convention, and they're like, "What's going on?" And they're usually hungover, so it's even worse for them. But
Yeah.
It's not
Quinni
fun.
Con does things
Yeah.
to people.
When I ran a convention, we had a very interesting set of vendors, and one of them was a cigar vendor. And the cigar vendor did very well selling cigars to non-con goers.
I imagine.
It was really odd.
Yeah, like we.
I don't think you were allowed to sell tobacco products on campus, and they were
No.
selling them. What are you gonna do? It's New Hampshire. Live free or die.
Exactly.
So do you have masquerade or anything like that going on, or anything exciting, fun?
We have main
Cosplay
events.
contest.
We have the cosplay contest, which is essentially just people get up, tell us.
So that is the masquerade in essence, right?
It's very short. It's like an hour long.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not.
tiny.
It's nothing like the bigger masquerades are.
You know what I hated with masquerades? Because I never go to the masquerades, and whenever I'm at a convention, there's a masquerade, and the lines are so long I can't get anywhere else in the convention. It's like, this is like a sea of 3,000 people. What the hell are you doing over here? Like, how can I go play this board game that I was supposed to sign up for and have to be there in 5 minutes? Very obnoxious.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
go anymore because it's like you have to wait 2 hours before the actual masquerade just to get in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's
It
like
is-
It's kind of pointless.
you only have a weekend. Like you want to spend like 6 hours of the day waiting for the masquerade? No.
It's not worth it.
No.
It's not.
So we don't.
So are you a cosplayer? Or,
Yes,
so
we both do.
are you guys both cosplaying for this weekend?
No, staff isn't allowed to.
I am during my panel, but other than
Oh, I
that,
forgot you're doing. You're being Storm again.
yeah, I'm being Storm.
Okay. Yeah. So we are staff isn't allowed to cosplay except for on their breaks. So,
I feel like cosplaying as an X-Men is not a hard task. You just have to wear like a black and yellow clothing.
Well, when you make it, you know, yourself,
Yeah.
it becomes harder. If you go buy your costume, sure, if you're one of those.
All right, so I plan for Connecticut to be the man with no name, right?
Okay.
So how is somebody supposed to like sew a button-up shirt, sew a black pair of Levi's, sew a
Well,
hat?
there are
like,
some costumes where if it's like average everyday clothes, go to Goodwill, have at it, whatever. But then there are some where just like,
it doesn't look right if you don't make it.
yeah. Well, I mean, you could buy it online, but I judge you.
Yeah. Tori's one of those. We actually, I think everybody in the club, whoever cosplays, go
So
look.
no, let me tell the story.
Do it,
So
go.
freshman year, I come to anime club, and I know what I should expect, which is terrible. Is what you should expect when you go to an anime club.
Yes.
It's just what you think. So I go, I sit in the back, and I'm like, these people are probably weeaboos. So I sit there for a little while.
What's a weeaboo?
Weeaboo is
A weeaboo is it's a really bad anime fan. It's an anime fan who is a little too obsessed. It's equivalent to a Trekkie, I want to say.
Trek is not a derogatory term for people that like Star Trek.
Trekker is now the correct term, apparently.
I-
Or so says my father.
There's actually no correct term or incorrect term. People prefer one or the other.
Well, it's equivalent
Same
to
thing
the
with
term,
weeaboo, yeah.
basically. It's basically a weeaboo is somebody who's an anime fan, but they're a bad anime fan because they're too obsessed.
So what's the difference between a weeaboo and an otaku?
I actually read a good description of this the other day. It was when you call a weeaboo, they will say, "No, I'm an otaku." But when you call an otaku a weeaboo, they'll be like, "Yeah, sure, I'm a weeaboo. I don't care," because they're just casual about it. Whereas weeaboos will get overly defensive about what you call them. And it's like, "Yeah, I'm a fan of the stuff. I don't really care what you want to consider it."
So it's kind of like being an alcoholic, where if you, like the first step to recovery is admitting.
Yeah,
And they haven't got to that first step
basically. But it's the kind of anime fan where you see at a con and they're wearing like
screaming.
they're screaming for
Screaming.
starters. They are probably haven't washed for a couple of days. They have a bag, a messenger bag of their favorite anime, but you can't see the front of it because it's covered in buttons. And they are probably harassing cosplayers.
Or just harassing.
Or just harassing people in general, yeah.
Well, as somebody who used to play Friday Night Magic and goes to a lot of conventions, I don't think that like smelling bad is limited to just overactive anime fans.
It's a good trait to add on to any kind of negative.
It really
person.
is,
Yeah.
but it's
Confunk is a thing, people.
Confunk
Wash yourselves.
It is the thing. Please wash yourselves, please, especially at Quinni Con.
True facts.
You should like have freshening up stations throughout the convention so people can like.
We shouldn't have to do that though.
They should know. I mean, on top of that, a lot of fans are teenagers, so they already
They're suffering from BO because they just don't know. They just don't.
Oh wait, but your story.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
my
finish your
story.
story.
What was I talking about? Oh, how everyone was
Kinda
terrible
anime.
cosplayers the first year.
I wasn't
So
that bad.
you were the best of the worst.
Yeah.
So they all went to Comic-Con, or it was still NIAF back then, I guess, because
Yeah.
this was what 2010. I didn't go with them because I wasn't about that life, and I saw the pictures.
So many lies you just are not about.
That.
And so I saw the pictures, and it was just like the Psycho theme played as I looked at them because it was like thrown together, didn't make sense, head exploding.
Sneakers.
Ever since then, they've known that I've been judging them, and we've had so much improvement.
So yeah.
So you have basically shamed everybody out of being.
I never do it to their faces. What happened is they're like, "How does my costume look?" And if I don't reply to them, then they know
What?
that
So-
something isn't correct.
Okay, so I just want to like get a better idea of this. So I go up to you, I'm cosplaying something horrible, and I say, "How's my costume?" And you just don't say anything to them. And, like,
like
isn't
this
that,
face right.
so it's like very uncomfortable for both of you, right? And then you
Not
have to,
for me.
For me, I have a little bit of a different opinion than she does, but
So what's your opinion of bad cosplay then?
I think that honestly, everybody starts somewhere, and you are going to need people like her if you want to improve. If you take it seriously and you actually want to like pay proper homage, in my opinion, to your show or whatever or your character, you probably should put some more effort into it than rather than just tossing something together last minute. So I say that you have to start somewhere, and I'll say, well, this is good, but this needs improvement. Sort of the same way where I tell kids about their drawings because they show me their drawings, and
She's an artist.
I don't want to see their drawings.
So conventions. This is probably my last question of the night. So we're running out of time. So conventions, like when they originally started in general, like were for a group of fans to come together, discuss what they like, and like swap things. With the internet and social media and everything being available online and things like eBay where you don't need to go to swap meet, what do you feel like the role of the convention is now?
For Quinni Con specifically, we actually got an article written about us last year. I can't remember by who, but they said that we were the fans convention of fans convention because we were free. We didn't care about making money like a lot of conventions do. We were all about just bringing the community together, the local community, not just like your friends who are like far away in England or Singapore or whatever, but your friends that are local and having them come together and physically be able to find people in the location that they can hang out with there.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, it's just we didn't care about anything else besides doing that and making a space for these kids who may or may not ever have found anybody who's interested in this stuff like they are to just come together and just meet somebody else in the Connecticut area or at least in the tri-state area who they can hang out with and make friends with.
So I know that you're out of the tri-state area. Tri-state area is Fairfield County, New York City, and the northern part of New Jersey.
Are you saying people don't come from there?
I'm not saying that they don't come, but I'm just saying you don't actually represent the tri-state area.
Well, we have a lot of people that come from
You're,
New York, so
you're in between the greater New Haven and greater Hartford areas.
we're something.
You're in New England.
Quinnipiac.
All right, so everybody, come check them out. When's your convention?
It is March 1st and 2nd, this coming weekend, 2014, Rocky Top Student Center, York Hill campus of Quinnipiac University.
All right, look them up on their web site. Do you have the link, Alan? I guess he doesn't have the link. All right, everybody, have a good night. See you next week. Or see you in 2 weeks from now.